For me, the luxury is a concept that has been invented for the poor. It's a product for the poor, basically. I was poor before. I was wearing like Dior and stuff like this all the time. I needed this to prove that I am someone. But now I know who I am. So for me to wear a Zara t-shirt is even more a flex. I don't give a shit, you know.
Julian, the founder and chief designer at Blvck Paris.
A brand that has revolutionized streetwear
with its distinctive all-black aesthetic.
Julian has become a celebrated figure in the world of fashion
and digital innovation.
How much do you think social media played a part in Blvck's success?
A lot. For me, Blvck, it's something that was born when I was in a very dark time of my life. I find that in every sadness, there is like a beautiful creativity that goes out of it.
A lot of people who are in really bad times, in anxiety, depression, a lot of sadness, how do you turn that dark period into something positive?
You need to use that energy to push you to take it in the good way. For me, everything is in your mind, so you need to take the problem, to tackle it from inside. We just signed a collaboration with Paris St Germain, PSG. PSG really fits the brand Blvck Paris. It's going to be a dual drop. It's going to be Web3 and Web2. 2 years before the concept of NFTs, we were trying to expand Blvck to digital market. It was more to put Blvck Paris in the NFT map. We sold like $500,000 of digital product in like a month. I would say that to me, I have something inside, like a drive, you know, I'm very like afraid to fail. That's something that my parents give. For them, the failure is something that is a shame. They laugh about it. You can do stuff by feeling if you want. It will work in the beginning. But if you want to grow from a 1 million to like a 10, 100 million brands, you need to...
Cheers.
It's my first podcast.
Very first?
Yeah.
First in-studio podcast?
First podcast, yeah, in studio I did like a Zoom, stuff like that.
Is it something you didn't want to do before, or? Because you seem online like you're a bit of a...
So actually me, like, I told you I'm more like an introvert in that kind of stuff. So I like to be like in my space, in my zone, to do my interview, my live, my spaces online, you know?
Yeah.
And then with the experience, I started to become more involved in this and to gain the confidence to do that. So me, I'm someone who likes to do what I know, and then I do it very good, basically. So, but I like to learn, I like to do new things. So
because the online social media thing is kind of against not showing your life, even though you're really doing it really well, because it's kind of a bit, very subtle, and people don't really know who you are.
So I like to keep this mysterious vibe, because Blvck, my own business, is all about this kind of mysterious, romantic, luxury. You know, I don't want to assimilate too much to a kind of gothic vibe. You know, I don't want to go to a specific area. But the thing is, there is so much brands that pop up every day and people who are trying to bring something new on the market that you need to differentiate. So for me, it was like this kind of all black everything, you know? So that was my kind of differentiation point. Even though there is some problems with this, is that it's kind of limited. So for example, that's why now I'm releasing like a new shades of black collections, when you will have a lot of variety of monochromatic colors from white to black with different like labels on it, you know, like charcoal colors and stuff like this. So that's some challenges that I have, but for me, Blvck, it's specifically actually something that was born when I was in myself in a like very dark time of my life. So that's what actually motivates me, because I find that in every sadness, you know, there is like a beautiful creativity that goes out of it. I don't know if you know what I mean.
I think a lot of
more
people...
sensitivity, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of people who are very creative and artists, that's where they find their biggest inspiration, in kind of dark moments. Yeah. And actually even, I would say like even entrepreneurs, like it's in the worst moments that if you are really an entrepreneur and you can take a step back, you will find like the actual opportunity and then kind of rise from that and build new things that you wouldn't have thought otherwise. And even in my own life, I have multiple examples where I thought I was like near bankruptcy, or near I need to get a job, or near I'm fucked. And then that's the moment where you don't give up. And then like 1 year later, you're like, fuck man, like everything is so much better than even it was before.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm trying to stay positive even in the dark times, you know, the thing is that you need to use that energy, but you cannot push you into the dark side, into the down. That's up to you and your personality to be able to take it in the good way.
How do you do that? Because a lot of people who are in really bad times, I mean, by definition, you're in a bad time, so it's very difficult. It's a very difficult moment, right? You might experience anxiety, depression, a lot of sadness. You don't want to wake up in the morning.
So I don't.
So how do you turn that into? How do you turn a dark period into something that's positive for the future?
I would say that to me, I have something inside, like a drive, something very, like, for example, I'm very like afraid to fail. That's something that my parents give me this vibe, because for them, the failure is something that is a shame, it's like they laugh about it. So first I have this kind of failure, like, I'm afraid of that. And then I have this drive inside, this passion. I only do things that I really like. If I don't like what I'm doing, I will go all the way down and not do it, actually at the end, I'm like very like extreme, So for me, it's very important to have this drive, this motivation. So when you are sad, you can even do stuff more like robotic kind of without feelings, but at least you do your stuff that needs to be done, which is not easy. But I am not saying that for me, like all this kind of fitness, health, etc. Everybody say it's important, etc. But I think that before that, you need to have something inside you that push you to stay awake and to like just wake up in the morning, do your stuff, get shit done. So for me, you need this drive first, and the rest is just to be like more productive, more energy, more smart, more, this.
Do you think that this drive is something you have inside of you when you're born, or it's something that comes from your environment? You're talking about your parents' example that almost lost at kind of failure. Is it something that maybe can you tell me more about your upbringings, so we understand more about where we come from, your relationship with your parents, and especially around this, elitist parents, and how failure was not really allowed and how it impacted you?
So I think maybe I need to introduce a bit myself so that you can understand like how I came to this. So I was born like in like a very cool family. My parents, they're like very loving to each other. I have two small sisters. My parents basically are still together today. They give me a lot of love and anything that we need, basically. The thing is, they were like very elitist in the way that everything needs to be like, we need to be like in the like very strong mathematics session in class. We need to do this kind of university, the best ones, not the good, but more with me, because I don't know, I'm the first one, I'm a boy, I don't know. For me, it was like more important than even my sisters, that what I do it like very good. Piano, everything.
Where do you think it comes from? Do you think it comes from their parents' education? Yeah. So your parents' or from like, because maybe it's a good family, or like
It's all about the environment when you are, some people think more than others by themselves. Some are more close-minded. My parents are a bit more close-minded in this way. So they was born in this kind of environment where both their parents was like putting pressure on them. I know.
And do you think the pressure is coming from the love for your child to do the best out of life, or more because you want to be seen by other people around as, I'm a successful family with successful children?
So I don't care about like how people see my family and stuff. I care only about how people see me, at the end. My family is private. I like to keep it like this. I mean, it's not in this podcast, but when we are, with people in general.
Yeah.
And me, I had this kind of, so I had this, that was one point that I wanted to talk quickly. But as well, I had some other points, like I had some, I'm very sensitive. I have a hypersensitivity.
What do you mean by hypersensitivity? Can you give some examples?
Okay, so I have something, like I was diagnosed like with a bipolar disorder recently actually, but I always knew I had something like that was like off a bit, I was like getting crazy or regular, and I was switching my mood. I was really extreme, like everything was like black or white basically. So actually what happened is that I never knew what it was. I thought I was normal, it was my life. I thought, everybody, you see yourself like as your own. You don't see yourself as a whole from, above. Only with time you can get mature enough to be able to see this surrounding of yourself, you know. So me, what I did is that I was just living my life like this normally. I was very patient by what I did. So I started at 12 to like do websites. So I'm 32, it was 20 years ago. I started to learn like it was PHP, SQL, HTML, CSS, all these kind of first language. They were not like Wix and all this application today. So I developed all the website myself. I really love the design behind it. That's something that I always loved because I'm very like OCD. Everything needs to be clean. I mean, already back then I was like really like some brands, you know, I was doing like an obsession on them, and I needed to find this brand, this jeans that is just like this, etc. So always like thinking, you know, in my mind. And that's how I came up with like to work actually when I was young. And that's why I believe that I succeeded to achieve a lot only after 10 years at the age of 22, because I did a lot of mistakes before when I was like no responsibility, no pressure, just like in my computer working. And I like this because actually I'm in my bubble, my comfort zone, you know, working at home, you know, feeling protected. So that's how I started to build business. And my father, you have to know, is like an entrepreneur. So me, I was building the business.
What did he do?
Websites.
Or what does he do?
He was doing like import-export with China. So like for like companies who need like a small gift for their customers, you know, like magazines and stuff like this. And you need to know that at the time, it was very complicated to discuss with China and stuff. You needed like some facts, you need to go there a lot of time, do the foire, I don't know this English. You know, and the market's kind of...
I don't know either in English, but I know what it is.
Yeah.
So you go and see basically all the suppliers, and you have like this big gathering of
exactly.
suppliers, right?
Yeah.
Where
so
you go and...
He was doing that. So I didn't see as well my father a lot because he was working until late every day. And basically the weekends or when he was not in China for business. But what I wanted to say that he put me to this path of selling my service. He told me like, yes, I know someone, he needs a website. Can you do it?
At 12 years old?
Yeah, a bit later. I started to learn at 12. It was more like, probably you don't know, but PHP, BB, forum like this. It's like really like some geeks might recognize, not a few. And I was like doing some customization on some forums that I install on website, on servers. So I learned like the framework, how it works, the server, the host, the DNS settings, and all of this.
So more on the technical side and infrastructure side than on the design side first, right?
Yeah.
Or doing everything.
Yeah. But actually, I started with the development. I don't know, I was passionate. I didn't have a vision and stuff like this. You know, it was just like I loved it. And then I started to like really much the design part. That's where I spend the most of my time. So the website looks the best. You know, like I was doing like some poker event with my friends, just so I can do the website and people can order drinks and stuff. And I was like, I really love this. So I started to do some websites for friends of my parents that gets me some money. So like it was my first contact with the money, let's say, because, you know, before that, when you don't work, you don't have this value of the money. But I was young. So I spent all the money straight and then I gained. And, you know, it was like, I learned, you know.
Did you have some goals already back then? Or was just more like, I'll try to get one and do like the best job possible and then like move on to the next?
No, to be honest, I didn't have like a specific vision and goal. I just wanted to have, I was young, you know, I was not very mature. I think I was even like not smart, like not as mature that I was today for sure, you know. So for me, the vision was like to make some money and to have fun, you know. I mean, but indirectly, that's what put me into having a vision, you know, after. But I didn't have like, I wanted to be like a good designer and stuff on website. To sum up, my vision was not to work for someone. That was exactly what happened in my mind. I never saw myself working for someone else. I have like a problem with authority, you know, and stuff like this. I need to be in control.
Can you develop that? Do you have some examples like where young, you realized, man, I can't deal with someone telling me what to do? Maybe at school or your parents, okay?
My parents, the teachers, yeah. I was like...
what would happen? You just tell them, I don't listen to you, I don't care. You scream.
Kicked out of the school actually when I was very young, very, very young.
Kicked out?
Kicked out, yes.
Okay. Like
and I was...
indefinitely, and you had to go to another school, or they just told you come back in...
No, it was like before you get like 10 years, 8 years old, something like that, 6 years old. Yeah, 6 years old. In France, you don't have, if you have some good reasons to go to the kindergarten, we say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kindergarten.
So I stayed with my parents, with my mom, basically, when I was very young. I was fighting with everybody. I was apparently like spitting on people and stuff.
Do you know why? Do you remember?
I don't remember even. I have some flashback, like that I was running and sweating, I swear, I don't know why I have this flashback. Maybe because my father actually like record everything. So I have like a video of all my years, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you watch them a lot? Because I was with a friend in Hong Kong a few weeks ago, and he was just making videos everywhere. And he was just saying, oh man, I'm recording that. So we have like memories in 10 years for the kids and everything. And I thought it was really even much smarter than doing pictures,
Yeah. So
are you doing that now?
Yeah,
a lot of videos?
I do a lot of video, but it's more like aesthetics for, the socials. After that, I edit them and I put them like in the content. Because I use always, so I'm the one doing all the content of Blvck, most of it, the stories, the stuff. So it's a lot of pressure, but that's what I want to do, like all of my time. That's what I like to do. So I have people to do all the boring stuff that are boring for me, but maybe not for them, And the content, the marketing, the branding, and the big visions. That's what I want to put my time on, basically.
So you're selling your services in your teens, basically.
So
and at the same time, you're at school, obviously.
Right.
What did you study?
I studied business engineering at the Solvay Business School, Brussels. And
so business engineering would be technical?
Very technical. You have a lot of science, econometry, mathematics, physics, chemistry.
Did you enjoy it?
I love the scientific part of it that people don't like usually, but I don't like the history, geographical kind of vibe, So when I don't like something, I don't do it. I do just the minimum to be able to succeed in last minute. And that basically that's some information that you forget because you do it so quick,
The goal to just pass or still to do the best grades? So I do the minimum to get the best grades, or I do the minimum to pass, which is what a lot of entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs are actually doing at school. How do I understand the system in which I am, or what the teacher wants to hear or me to write during the exam, even if I don't understand anything about the subject, just to get that grade?
So basically people failed so in the university I was, they take like maybe like between 10 and 20% the first year, the rest like out. And they don't do like a test before. They take you after 1 year when you study, etc. And they don't give you the score before they get all the scores because they want only 10%, between 10 and 20 to succeed. And the second year, between 20 and 30% to succeed. So what is important, how they kick people out is with a scientific branch anyway.
Always.
So you can do the minimum at the rest and the other part,
Always.
But for me, I was very good at it. Like I did some of the best scores in especially like mathematics and statistics. That's like my favorites. Then physics a bit, but less, and chemistry I not like actually. Yeah.
In my bachelor degree, actually was the same. They would just put math in every freaking course because we were 1,000 people to start.
Yeah.
Second year, we had to be like 300 max. So in the beginning, 1,000 people, you don't even have enough space to sit. So people are sitting outside or on the floor. And it just like made the selection by who is still willing to come if they have to sit on the floor. And then they destroy everyone on math in every subject, even subject where you're not supposed to have math. And then they just clean up the...
So what you need to do for that, I stayed in the first rank with all the best students. I make friends with them. And then you get all the summary and stuff. Because me, I had a business. So what I did actually, so I was talking about like that I did the website design and stuff like this. When I was 18, I stopped. I left in the US in San Diego to live 1 year, to learn English, to do a break of life.
So that's kind of a gap year.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I came back and I started the studies. So what I did is actually I had as well another project that I started at the same time as my studies. It was a mood movie, it's called. It's like a movie that match your mood. It's an application actually, like an algorithm, based on big data. So it finds you the movies that match your mood, basically.
Okay.
So it was like all this craze of the mobile application, now it's craze of the AI before it was Web3. So a long time ago, it was the mobile application.
Yeah.
There was like Facebook who sold 1 billion stuff, etc. All this.
Exactly, the Web2 and mobile, basically the mobile wave.
Yeah, exactly. So I did this application. We get like good traffic and everything. I was working hard on it. I went even like on the TV show, national TV show. in Belgium. So actually I was like born and I lived in Paris, but I came for the study in Belgium, in Brussels, And there I started to be invested in the startup world. But you have to know that Belgium was not a good point to do business. You don't have investors. You don't have a good ecosystem for the business, etc. But anyway, I learned everything that I needed to do. I did all my mistakes. And that's where I started after that to launch my web agency, doing design, application mobile, and core.
During the gap year, did you do some business stuff too or not? You just said, I'm going to take a year. Were you able to like disconnect from business basically and money making?
Really. Yeah. I was doing less website. I was like, you get like 16, you get your first girlfriend and stuff, and you change you need like a few years to. So I want to tell you, like, honestly, I stopped to do some business stuff when I was 18, 17. I started to just 1 year or two. Then I started my goal was to succeed at all costs, this university that was so complicated. And I got the confidence after working a lot when I get the good scores. And I see that, okay, I can do it. So that's when I started to again the business.
Have you ever thought why you wanted to be the best? Because, for example, for me,
I want to be the best.
I mean, because you're talking about, and you told me the other day, you told me I wouldn't feel good if I was not the best amongst my group of friends.
Yeah.
And I was kind of the same. I was doing this bachelor. I wanted to have the best grades to go to the best masters and the best MBAs to then, I started the first business when I was 23, but before that, before having a more open mind to entrepreneurship, I was thinking, what's the hardest thing out there? McKinsey, like the classic path of like doing the hardest schools and then the best grades and then working for McKinsey and everything. Until I started to meet entrepreneurs and I started to kind of rethink like actually these entrepreneurs who are like 45, who are now entrepreneurs, but 20 years ago, they were at McKinsey. They tell me that I should start a company now and not wait until it's their age, right? So I had these like people kind of reframing my mind, but I always also had this thing where I want to be the best. I want to be the best. I want to be the best.
So me, I didn't always have this feeling. It's something that came later on when I was 22, 23.
Why?
First of all, the environment you are on. I was in the best school in my local, where I was living. And I was with the most smart guys. Like one of my best friends, Jonathan Rubinstein, for example, he was always like first of the whole year, So, you are in this kind of environment when they don't even share all the good summaries and stuff,
Yeah, I wanted to ask before, because I wanted to say, because I was also part of I was also part of the crew of like the smart people at uni, but it was, I'll share this with you. But then at some point when you're getting closer to the exams, it's like, they might like omit or forget one or two of these things because
let me down actually.
Because they want to be the best, right?
So that's the things that made me laugh actually, because I had this friend who was like always like wanted to get the good scores, etc. And he only take me to do the groups for all the informatics classes, because in informatics I know everything. I get 20 after 20 every.
Okay, of course.
So people taking advantage of you. But no, it was fun. I did business with him, etc. And I'm not someone who take the anger too much. Like I'm all about like peace at the end. So I try to focus on myself. It's not something competitive, like I'm trying to compare myself to others. It's more like for me, I want to be the best. And to be honest, I don't look at other people's. I don't give like, I feel like I'm not someone jealous at all,
Not anymore?
No,
or never been?
Never been. It's not in my personality to be jealous. Like I never like, for me, it's something that more I will get inspired and I want to be like this person, That's more something that inspires me to be, that give me motivation to be like that, because I believe that I can do it. If you don't believe that you can not do something, then you will be only left with jealousy and anger, because that's the only thing that you can give to feel a little bit better,
What's your definition of success? Because again, you go to school with a bunch of people, right? And kind of competing for like, I want to do this, or I want to do that, I want to become, you always knew you didn't want to have a boss, but most of your friends ended up in McKinsey and all, like, which is like the definition of success for a lot of people and our parents' generation, right?
Yeah.
What's your definition of success?
So look, it's like if you're asking me what's the definition, the meaning of life. That's the meaning that you give to life. You know what I mean? So success can be success in a relationship. It could be success in business. Now we are talking about business. So if you tell me what is the success of business, yeah, when my company will be worth like $1 billion, then it will be like I will be successful. But then I will compare myself with other company that's worth like $5 billion. Depends with who you are. You know what I mean? Like success at the end is what makes you happy, what's complete you, I believe, you know? But of course I need to like respect an image for people around me. Like honestly, I post a lot of stuff on Instagram that are like money, inspirational, etc. But I do it because that's how people see me to be credible. You know what I mean? It's stupid, huh? But I'm just talking about the meaning behind it, the psychology behind.
You posted the Richard Mille 2 days ago, right? On your stories.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you do that? Because it's what you said, you know, like there's the kind of like online social media game, and then there is the you and your own values.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you do that? And why do you do that?
So me, I don't care about what people, about the bad eye and all the stuff that people, you know, believe and we should not post this, etc. Me, I see it more like, it's something that is part of the image of a successful guy, you know. That's how people see it. So me, I'm just like giving you what you want to see in a way, but I try to do it my way. So sometimes I will put some stuff like this. Sometimes I will be like more myself. It's more like of a kind of ecosystem we are living, you know, that we need to comply.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So at the end, like you do stuff for the eye because we are not living individually. We are living in like an ecosystem with a lot of people. Need to like, you know. But I feel like sometimes I have a little pinch in the heart. I have to tell you when I post some stuff like that.
Why?
Because it goes a bit against my values.
Which are
like to be honest, to be authentic, to be yourself, to always do what you like and stuff. But it happens, I really love watches, you know. So in the way it goes with me, in the other way, I just like I don't care and I care in the same time. You know what I mean? I say that I don't care what people think about me, but obviously I care because it's my business. It's what I want to show. It's what, you know, I reflect. And for example, if I didn't post anything of my success on socials, people will not believe that Blvck is like a big thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that I need to prove myself so that people will believe. You know.
Completely understand. It's
you know,
part of the game.
It's part of the game. Yeah. I play in this game, fashion, etc. It's the game, you know. If I was working for something else, I wouldn't maybe like stopped Instagram at all.
I wanted to ask actually, what would you post, or would you post at all if you were not in this luxury fashion game? What would the true Julian post on Instagram? So if you're just a normal dude.
When I started Instagram, it's business straight. I never had like a private. I did a private after. I posted like 5 photos and then I closed it because I don't want to go private like personal on Instagram. So
everything or nothing.
Too much. Yeah.
All in.
For me, it was business, or I don't use it because I hate people who think of like, now I am like this, unfortunately. But I used to really hate this kind of a culture behind like, we need to post everything we do. Wait, before eating, let's do a story.
Let's do it.
Now I do it, you know, I'm this kind of dude that does that, but you know, cannot control it.
Part of the game.
Change.
So you said you changed 5 years ago?
Yeah, because I wanted to do a brand. Before I was doing like B2B, you know, I was working with companies. So I was...
Wait, let's start with that first.
Okay.
So you were at university, to go like chronologically, you were at university.
5 years. 2
and
years bachelor, 2 years master.
Yeah, and then you said, I think when you were 21, you started
so at the same time I was in the university, I started to do like, basically I did a lot of business that all of them doesn't make money. It was all like valuation, blah, 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 etc.
Can you give some examples of
like
businesses that
I told you? I can tell you some names, but there was nothing these names today.
But
like
what?
Trendify. It's like application mobile and a lot of startups like this, you know, or project for social people, blah, blah, like Facebook vibe. Anyway, me, I was more like a designer. People take me because I was the best in the design. Okay. So I was doing design for all these projects. And I kind of always liked the lifestyle. So I had some money that I was doing with websites, but that was the only thing that was doing money for me. It's when I work, you know, in the website stuff. So after...
so sort of consulting work that gives you cash versus I'm going to build this next app where I can put some, like basically the classic 2010 story because of the Instagram and Snapchat kind of ages and basically a lot of low interest rate environments. We have this crazy valuation in tech, which we as students, we see entrepreneurship is I build a 1 billion company in 1 or 2 years with crazy valuation, which is what happened to Instagram and a bunch of others. And that's my definition of success because that's what I'm seeing everywhere in media. So you were trying to do a bunch of that and then you realized this is not making any money, right?
So look, me, I was not trying to do, I had always had the feeling that it would not do money. I knew it. I have a very good feeling with things, but I loved the social part with my team to design and to show them. And they're like, wow, the best design in the world, because I was the one providing the happiness, the only like tangible stuff in the project, So I love this kind of the design. I love the design. That's my thing. I always love the design. So after what happened is I did my web agency design. It was starting to work well. Just I bought like a Porsche 911 when I was 22, 23, and I go to the university with that.
So from the cash from the design agency.
From the design agency.
Which was called?
Anchor. It's like my Instagram and never changed the username.
Why was it called Anchor? For a specific reason or?
To be honest, like everything was like taken on Instagram. You have to find a username. And I don't know, I like this kind of like a beach vibe. So, around that, Anchor, it's like something for the boats.
Yeah.
Then I changed the H, I put K. Yeah, it's available. Okay, let's do it. It's stupid. I don't have a better story to tell you. I don't want to lie.
I think that's most of the stories for like business names. Like people are looking for like the amazing story and then you're like, I was just looking for a freaking domain name that was available or an Instagram handle that is available.
Yeah, exactly. That was that. So I was doing this. It was making money. It was making me happy, And then
we're making a lot of money and saying, I can afford the Porsche. You're more saying, I make the money. I'm buying the Porsche because I want to show.
I was living in my parents till I was like 22, working in the university, studying in the university. I didn't have like any fees and stuff. So when I reached like 120K, I just spent all of it, and then I ate spaghetti, I love spaghetti. It happened. So it's so good. So it was this. And I didn't have time. I gave them money to pay the insurance because no insurance wanted to insure me.
So the reason they didn't want to give you insurance is because too young or because you didn't read?
And it was, I was driving a Volkswagen Polo before that. Actually, I bought like some car in between, that are nice, but not like a Porsche 911, like a race car. So it was kind of, yeah.
What do you think about this decision of buying that Porsche at that age? If you look back.
Good. No, I don't need the cars. So no, I need, but I don't need to own them like I used to before. I can rent them and travel around the world. I have a few cars, but they're like more for business, So yes, no, I don't have this. I love cars, but it's okay. I don't need any more because I used to drive, like I had as well a Lamborghini Huracan a bit later, that I bought and stuff like this. So the Urus 2 years ago. I have the experience with this. I don't need to.
How did you feel when you bought that first Porsche?
Best day in my life.
How long did it last? The happiness from buying the Porsche?
Honestly, all of it. Like for 5 years until I sell it.
Amazing.
Because I moved and I couldn't drive for a few years, so I just sold it. And until the last day, I never felt like something that I like since the day one. I was doing nightmares of it. It took me 1 year to find the perfect Porsche 911 all black with all the, I'm crazy about what I do. Anything that I do, I'm crazy about it. So for me, if I tell you that it was the perfect Porsche 911, it's that I took like 8 months, 1 year to find it. And then for me, it was the love all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you build this design agency, right? It's a website design agency.
So what's nice with that? Yes. What's nice with this type of business is that actually you don't have a lot of cost, So the money you can get, you are not like, you sleep well that night, you secure like 100K a month, So after that, if you don't want to do cost, you don't. Me, I was not working with I had some project manager inside the office, a small office that a friend of my father gave me for $200 a month or something like that, nothing. And then I had all the developers based in Belarus, Serbia, like a team that works exclusively for me, not an agency, And they were very good, very motivated, actually, mostly in the beginning. So I was sleeping good at night until I got bored. So I was working just to let you know why I got bored. I was like first doing it for startups, small money. So I can do everything I want, the creativity. Then I started to work with LG, Bang & Olufsen, Huawei, Samsung, all the big companies in the technology. That was my niche. And they give you the chart, the graphical charts and everything. So you need just to copy paste.
Yeah.
And then I was a lot of development work. So project manager, the client, they complained to me. I said, no, there is a project manager, complain to him, you know? But now I trust you, not him and stuff. And at the end, I just like went crazy and I stopped.
But the money is there. So basically you have this
But
trade-off. Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So you have to, so you with the startups, you can do a lot of things and be very creative, but they don't have much money.
Yeah.
They don't have much money. And then you can go with the big corporations, but it's very bureaucratic, politic. I mean, I have a data analytics consulting company since 8 years, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And everything is outsourced, which I want to talk about because
it's good to outsource.
The building a lean company from day one, and which is also what you've done with Blvck, right?
Yeah.
And the first, how much it makes sense to have like almost no fixed cost, but also it's I would say the problem with that, it's not a problem as per se, but what's the first question that most people ask you when you tell them you have a business? How many employees do you have? You know, like the kind of vanity metric, which is how many employees do you have? Because they think that how many employees you have, like how many followers you have online is basically saying how much success you have, right?
So that's what you need to do. You need to adapt to how people think. You cannot do to be authentic in the old way. Me, I'm trying to be authentic with myself, but with my business, I'm trying to do it in the way I can. But at the end, I'm doing what people wants to see. So for me, it was important to invest a lot in the marketing to have a lot of followers. So we have like 1.4 million. And that was something that actually converts people to say like, it's legit, you know, because I never heard of this brand or something like that. But what I noticed today, actually, it's a lot of people, when you say Blvck, they actually knew about it. And they that's something nice because we promote it for so long, especially in the US and in Asia, actually, because that's where we do the marketing, you know?
So you're saying you're doing this agency, then you start to work with these big corporations. Then you start to say, man, the money is good, but like I have zero creativity. It's boring. And I'm not doing that for the money anyway, because I'm a pure entrepreneur and I love design, right?
I was in depression at this time. More.
So depression because
of this. There is always some starting event when I do like a little depression or crisis, you know?
Is it something that happens often, these depression periods? If you look back, now that you are
anymore for business less, for like personal life, you know, that's why I'm less confident, let's say.
Okay.
No, but for the business side, you get confidence with the time. More you get confidence, more you are smart. That's how I believe. Actually, more you think without overthinking stuff. You know, you are like you have more the feelings. You know, you can do stuff easy, fast. It's important how people see you too.
But you are. Here you're doing a split between business and personal life, right? And you say, now basically I don't have really that many problems anymore because of the business, but the personal one, yes. But at the end of the day, when you feel bad, you are a person, right? So it's the same whether it's business or not, right?
Of course.
Because there's a lot of people like struggling with mental health, especially today, you know?
Yeah.
What are a few things that you do when you don't feel good that help you get back on track?
Honestly, I trick my brain. Okay.
How do you do that?
That's like, in a way, it's like lying to yourself, but with good arguments, you know? So you're trying to take the best out of the situation, to emphasize that, but take the worst as well, that is in your way, and make it your way. And me, I can do that in overnight.
Do you have some examples of like, I felt bad because do you even identify the cause, or just like, I know exactly what to think about to make myself feel better? Obviously, everybody is different, obviously.
Look, for business, I have less this. But for example, like when I'm in with a girl and something and I don't know, I feel like something is off, whatever the reasons, then I can make this trick to make her down in my mind and make me up in my mind. and go quickly over something else because I'm very sensitive guy. So I need to protect myself, So this is something that I can do. But for the business side, now I'm just saying myself, work better. I don't know.
When is the last time that something like that happened in business?
Well, it never happens actually. I don't know. I'm sorry for that. I don't have like an example that comes up to my mind. It's small things, but in business, I've always been confident in business. I never had this issue, except in the very beginning when I started. Yes, this more because I was with people and always about the people that was not completing me in the business. We are trying both to be CEOs, It doesn't work to CEOs.
So a co-founder issues?
Co-founder issues. Everybody has co-founder issues.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what's really interesting is no one talks about that. But the main reason, or one of the main reasons why most businesses fail is not cash flow problems. I mean, cash flow is a big one, or product market fit or whatever. It's freaking co-founder issues. And no one talks about that. And, the ego and insecurities and just like one who doesn't realize that there is basically not much space for ego in a relation, the same as a relationship with a woman. Like as co-founders, if you have too much ego, or if just one has too much ego and doesn't really know how to control it, you're going to have problems. And whether the business is doing well or not, it's going to fuck the whole thing.
I had this problem big time.
Can you tell us more? And when was that?
That's where I discovered anxiety actually. In my life, the first time I had anxiety because I was living in a little cloud until I was like 19, 20. I didn't think, too much. I was not the kind of to overthink or deep, I became that.
Okay.
So for me, I didn't unlock my potential until late. So when I was 19, 20, I was in a business, this business like about the movies I was talking about.
Okay.
And I was like partners with not my best friend, a very good friend, okay? And we are all like, it's about the personalities. Well, all of us, most of us wanted to be like the CEOs, the managers, so we're co-CEOs.
Did you start because you were just friends or because you were complementary on skills?
We start because he was more driven entrepreneurship than me. I was not like that much into like making money and stuff. It was not really me. I was a passionate guy, very chill. And him, but I was talented. I was the talented one. Always been the talented in my group that don't give a shit. So him,
did you realize that you were really better than others?
No, it took time. It took not a long, to be honest. Like everybody saw what I do, and they're like, "Well, it's the best design I was doing better work than Snapchat and stuff like this." That's how people see it actually. So I had the eye for that. I was very good. It's not that I'm humble or not. It's just like I believe what I say. I believe
to be self-confident and for sure, aware of your values. Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically I was doing this kind of a design for a lot of startups, and that's how I got like recognized.
Yeah.
So he wanted to like partner. Everybody wanted to be my that I'm designing the project, because you sell a project at the beginning, it's with the design.
Yeah.
The design sells, and then you can get funds and develop it. So I was at the roots of it.
So what happened with this dude? 2 CEOs, co-CEOs. Did you decide at some point, we're co-CEOs?
Yeah, we were co-CEOs in the paper. We had a little business card with co-CEO, co-CEO. I know we were like 19, and me at 19, I look like 15, or I don't know. So
reminds me when I was 22, first company, and I had my business card, Kevin, CEO, and I go to my dad and I give the card, and he lost. He's like, "You're 22 and you're CEO." Like,
yeah, who do you think you are? But you need to believe that you are exactly to be able to do it. Because now people see the lifestyle, see what I achieved and stuff, see that we opened 20 stores worldwide, or a bit more than that. So now for people, yes, okay, you are the CEO. But before you do all of this, me too. Actually, I didn't. Even now, I remove all CEO. I'm not a CEO.
Yeah.
I'm a founder and a creative director. That's how I see myself. And even like the people in my team, when say the CEO, no, call me creative director. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Same as Elon is the engineer basically of Tesla.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I prefer this approach.
So it makes much more sense. So it's less of an ego game within the company and like, hey, look, I'm the CEO. No, this is what I'm doing, and like you're doing that, and we're all like equally important for this because the company is basically a bunch of people coming up together to work on a mission. So what happened with the co-CEO, or what didn't happen?
So that was the same dude that was trying to get in all the informatic projects with me to get the good scores, you know?
Okay.
I'm going to say this in the podcast. It's going to be funny.
Are you still in good relationship with him?
Yeah, great.
Okay, cool.
Now he's going to laugh about it. I love this guy. It's one of my best friends.
Okay.
But at the time we had some issues. More me than him. Him was trying to fix stuff. Me, I'm more destructive, you know? Actually,
Okay.
I tried to drive over him once.
So,
yeah, I remember like in the university, I was crazy a bit. But no,
with the car.
Yeah, but like not like he was like
Just to scare him.
He was trying to put like, no, don't leave. So I move a bit, you know. It was like, you know.
Okay. So you had a fallout in English. Like why? Because too much ego from both sides.
So this anxiety, it's because I didn't feel good in the relationship. I didn't put when I don't know something, I'm starting to feel anxious about it. And it's hard for me and I was not the dude that was talking a lot in communicating, you know. That's something that I learned after. So I was always like putting some words of what I feel, but it was not rough and like really what I feel, because I wanted to be politically correct, you know, and not too much. I don't know. My parents are like this, you know. So I learned it after by thinking by myself. So this is something but anyway, what happened basically is that we wanted to do another fundraising. We raised like 200K and we need to raise like 500K to go to the next round. And I was like, no, I don't want to continue. I don't. Let's stop. And without, like, I did everything so that it's not going to happen this Series A, you know.
Okay.
Basically, because I wanted I learned that I need to be alone. I need to be it's my business. I need to create it and that hire the people, not fund it with someone. That's what I learned.
So sole founder.
Yes.
Or someone with like minority shares, but like you want to make sure that you are the one who makes the decision, because at the end of the day, one person needs to make the decision. If there's two people who are kind of equal, you can have equal shares, but one should be the one who drives the decisions and the other should be kind of like the right arm, or otherwise it's not possible. It cannot work. Like, oh no, I'm going there, you're going there, we're rowing in. Yeah, you're already rowing against the current, but like you're rowing in different direction too. Like it's impossible.
For that, you need to make your proof. You know, you need to build for me the business that works in the beginning, so that you can inspire people to work for you in a very legit way. When you are the own boss, the own like of your activities, you know, it's you who knows the field. You know what I mean? So for me, you need to start alone, which is the most complicated, because I see all my friends, they want someone because they have trust issues. They don't want to do it alone. They prefer to fail together, you know, to bring someone with them in the failure.
So you're saying you don't need a co-founder. I mean, in general, telling people, hey, you think you want a co-founder, but it's just because you are afraid or you're scared. But like you entrepreneurs out there, like most of you probably don't even need a co-founder, or you know to start with, because if you have your idea and your conviction and your passion, like you're going to be able to make it happen, not alone because you need help from people, but like you're going to be able to drive your vision much better if you don't have someone who is
it's true,
thinking differently.
But that works for your main project. Blvck is my main project. I am co-founder of other projects, but I'm completely, there is no ego issues. There is nothing. I know my role. I know what I do there. I'm not working actively on any other project, but I used to. And now I invested in some project, okay? So when you know your place, it's okay. And when you have your main activity, if it's your main activity and you are co-founder with someone, that's where the trick happens. But if you just like provide the service from the company that you own or something like that, and you get shares, there is no problem basically to co-found something with someone.
Yeah, so the takeaway is every company needs a leader, and that leader needs to be clearly defined and have the kind of decision-making power. Because if you have two kind of equal people in terms of, at least on paper, decision power, like it's much more likely to have problems, right? Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So just got playing.
That's how we roll.
That's how you roll.
I actually almost never drink alcohol, to be honest. Otherwise, I can keep my life pace. It's impossible. Like just
if you overdrink, but if you have like a few glass, chill, no?
I mean, I'm more like not drinking for like a couple of weeks and then going one night.
But that's
crazy.
the problem when you go one night crazy, then the next day you are like, I had
The
this
next
like
3 days, you mean? The next 3 days, I'm like, brain not working. And sometimes it's good, like,
cheers,
cheers,
santé.
santé. So, you made the Series A of this app
We didn't
fail.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't make it failed. Let's say I didn't help to make it succeed. And I told him like, I'm not sure if I want to continue on this project.
But you didn't mean that. You actually didn't want to continue on this project.
No, I didn't want.
Yeah.
I didn't want. Yeah, I mean it for sure. I didn't know what was the feeling. I remember actually I was in New York with my family, with my parents. And I start to feel my heart and stuff. And I didn't know what it was, you know?
So
then someone explained
anxiety,
me what was anxiety.
so anxiety for you, because there's different way anxiety shows up, right? For you, it's like you feel like tense, you feel your heart.
It's like my stomach is blocked. I cannot eat. My heart beats fast. You have problems to sleep. You think a lot.
Washing machine.
Yeah, stuff like this. And I didn't know that I was someone who don't think too much, doesn't think, you know. I think, but not like today. So I didn't know that anxiety feeling.
Is this the first time it happens, or it happened many times before that, but you never were able to identify what it was?
Like it happens before, but not as strong as this time. So before it was more like I'm stressed. That's how I felt it, you know. And this, I felt like, okay, there is something wrong, you know. Like it was not a little stress of something.
What did you do at that moment? Or for you, the only way out was saying, I need to get out of this company because because I can't handle this situation anymore.
So I was talking with my family. I was talking with some of my friends.
So always very open about that. Right?
I'm open about everything. I can like.
So you say, that's how I feel. I feel bad. I feel all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not as open back then that I am today. Now today I can talk about like something that my girlfriend here doesn't want me to talk, you know. And before it was different. It was like I chose my words. I didn't want to appear like a bad person. I wanted to keep in the, you know, in the mirrors and stuff.
Is it more for your own image, or is it because you don't want to bother people? Because a lot of people who have anxiety, depression, I also had like big problems before in my life. Like you don't want to bother people too much, or like be this kind of like person with bad vibes, you know?
Yes, exactly. It was this. I was like always like trying to be in a good vibe with everybody, and that was me. No, it's not this.
Have you ever felt ashamed of it, feeling that way?
I didn't know. I thought it was the normal way to feel. I didn't think by myself, you know. That comes later. That comes actually when you get successful. When you get successful and people see it and you see that you're good, talented and stuff, then you get confidence. So then you start to think with your ego. Okay, ego is like a big kind of problem, but it's as well like a big solution to a lot of things. And the ego get you some adrenaline, some make you think outside of the box, like who you are, why you do this, why people see this like that. So why you need to do and to plan like really like more, and you have more you are afraid to fail even more and everything, you know. So ego is kind of good, I think. And that's when I started to be more authentic.
Ego is good. Can you elaborate more on that? Because I had a guest before, mega successful. And he said that ego is the first thing you should dissolve as quickly as possible, because it's the thing that's going to prevent you from any good thing to happen. And it's interesting if you have a different view on that.
But because probably he has a different definition of ego than me, you know. Ego, for me, there is something behind it that is more deep, you know, in the ego, is that it makes you believe in yourself. And it's just at a certain point, you know. So, okay, maybe if you take off the confidence of it, it could be right. But for me, the ego, it's something that makes you like believe in yourself. And then when you believe in yourself, you are able to take the decisions without being influenced by others, basically, you know. So, you know, you believe in your, and then you can make some, you know, you have some visions that people don't know about it. Like, for example, me in Black, I know all the history of it. So when people give me their advice, I know what I want. I know what is the vision because I already learned. They don't know everything. So the ego makes me stand my position on what I believe. And at the end, that's only one part of it, The ego makes you as well some adrenaline to be able to talk nice. Before I was not a kind of a guy that could talk in a podcast. I was trying to be like this, sweating, you know what I mean? And now I can talk what I believe. I don't care because, at the end, I love myself,
That's what
And I
everybody
think
should.
that everybody should, for
That's
sure.
what everybody should do and say. But a lot of people don't love themselves. And the problem is, if they don't love themselves, they cannot love other people.
Yeah.
By definition, it's not possible.
Of course.
But that's a subject for another day, because then you enter into the relationship subject and the attachment style and all that stuff, which is fascinating. But we have enough subject to talk about. So ego, where is it? You talk about when it's good. When is it bad?
So it's bad when you have this kind of, when you are afraid to fail, and you have this ego that prevents you from actually trying some stuff that can make you look funny or whatever, So this ego prevents you for this probability that you can be successful in something else or whatever. So that's a problem with it. But another good thing is that it makes you perfectionist. So everything that you will do will be perfect. So you need to find the right balance, because ego can be very bad, but it can be as well good. So that's what I believe.
Do you have examples of what you didn't do because your ego told you, oh man, I would want to do that, but if I do it and I fail, I'm going to look stupid?
So, for example, when I post on socials, etc., my ego made me stop to be active actually on socials myself as well a bit. It's a part of the reason I stopped to post on Instagram as well.
I noticed. So it's last is 2 years ago or 1 year ago.
And because actually it puts me, I will tell you something. I was very active on Instagram. I was posting twice a day. I was doing all my design, etc. It was taking all my time, all my energy, and I need to think always about the next post, And it was in this time that I was getting a bit depression and stuff, So my day could be great if I have enough engagement in my post. It could be bad if my last post didn't work, and it's kind of a stuff and I don't like Instagram. So when I started to become more authentic, I started to stop this, still today I'm afraid of that. So now what I do, I post only on my business account, because my business account, it's me, but it's not me. It's not my face. It's not my, it's a business and it's different. People all the business page, they don't do that much engagement as a private person. It's completely different.
So you realized it was all external validation and you said it's not good for me.
No, exactly. For my mental health, I don't want to do, and I started to be much better when I stopped 2 years ago to be active on Instagram actually. Actually, I stopped because it was the COVID. I could not do, I was always home and stuff. So,
It's nothing to do with the show.
And
it's not.
Nothing.
So you can post one of the 25,000 pictures you've taken at that trip to still make people believe that you're there, which is what everybody does. But
but I never do
no
that.
one will believe you anyway. You're like, bro, we're all home now. I don't believe you anymore. Okay.
But me, I was not someone who do that. For me, in my mind, it was if you don't post what you did in the trip in the next week, you don't post never.
That's why you said before, I want to do a picture now because we're here, right?
No, that's
no?
because I wanted to, because look, with the photo, etc., I need to enlarge it. Probably it's not going to be in the iPhone format. So it's more easy, we do one now. I can edit it, check. But yeah.
So let's get back to 24 years old. So you have this agency that you say, I'm getting depressed because of that, right? Because I don't love what I'm doing anymore. Doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah.
So what happens at that moment?
So at that moment, there was a lot of stuff in my life that was not going right. For example, I had a relationship, my first love, basically for my first relationship, girlfriend, and basically I was in love more of the relationship that I was in love with her, because I never had I'm a relationship guy. I don't like to see girls like this, So I stayed 5 years with her, 5 years and a half. And then I decided to break up, because actually I didn't see her. I never saw her actually as my future, you know what I mean? So that was this. So even though I was not that deeply in love and everything, I had the attachment and everything. It was going rough, for me. The business, it was dark too. I didn't like it. So that's when I became like very like in the depression phase. Like I had some bad thoughts and stuff like this. But that's at this phase that I started to build Blvck, actually, that all my passion, all my sadness came. And I started to build this all black everything, you know, because I wanted like an image that is like super luxury, super like unreachable, all black everything. And that was like kind of my vibe, like, you know, to compensate for a huge hole inside, you know.
But did you directly have a business idea, or you were just saying,
No.
how do I express my kind of darkness? Because you said like in the beginning it was, oh, I'm on Instagram and I'm going to post like a Starbucks mug, like black, right?
So yeah, how it started, it's like me as a designer, not as a brand, with Anchor, my Instagram. I was starting to post like some all black everything, like concept, like a Starbucks in black, a McDonald's in black, like brands, like household brands that you see every day, but you don't see it in black and you see it in black now, you know. It could be like even toilet paper and it works. So people was like crazy about this concept. It was new for them, you know. So I became like the kind of the all black everything, you know, the all black guy. So then I started to kind of bank on that. So that I still had the agency back then, you know, but it was the end of it. So then I saw that people really loved it. It was viral. So what I did, I bought the black handle on Instagram to make it like a concept, not a brand yet, a concept. When I post stuff in black, you know. And then it came to a brand. I started to sell accessories. I started to sell clothes. We did a collaboration with Hugo Boss in the beginning, etc., etc. And that's how I built it as a brand.
How did the first collab happen? Because it's not you don't have the brand concept or a company behind it yet. So like, how does this even happen?
So actually, I had the contact of a guy living in my country that has all the license for Hugo Boss for office accessories. So we didn't do like a streetwear collection. We did like a accessories collection for office. So I started to like take an umbrella and brand it a bit black and Hugo Boss, you know, some accessories that, because it was mostly like notebooks and pens. So I need to find like some accessories that are like, could be lifestyle, you know, like a power bank, but I designed it a bit differently. So that was the first collection. To be honest, it didn't work like good. Like what works good, the first collection was the first Black 01 collection we released of clothes, hoodie and stuff. And the accessories. Accessories, people like are crazy with it. So basically we started with this and we started to do more. So black, you have to know, I want to be like, just to say that now, it's that black is not it's not a streetwear brand. It's a lifestyle brand. Like we don't do only clothes at all. We have a black home collection to decorate your home. We have some restaurants, black food restaurants. Now I'm going to Tokyo next week to visit some of them, you know, that we are opening. Now we are doing some pop-up there in Osaka. We are building some hotels too, black hotels.
What kind of restaurants?
It's more, for now, we are investing in like all cafe, pastries, etc.
Nice.
So all the pastries that we use charcoal and stuff, we already did like a cookbook to do like 200 recipes in black, you know?
But the concept is built from scratch, or you're approaching brands or kind of like local coffee shops that you love already and say, hey, let's do a collab together and I might just purchase you?
No, it's not.
Like to have the know-how.
No. We work with like people that have the experience of it. We do collabs, kind of, but it's not collabs because it's only the black branding. It's more like they get paid, and but we want to work with, like for example, we did like a cookbook, and in the cookbook we work with like 30 different chefs in the world that did some black recipes for us to do like a black spaghetti with like ink, or to do like a charcoal cake all in black, or whatever, you know, like every recipe is there, like a black pizza to a black risotto. You can find anything, and cocktails too. But we throw a lot of parties too, a lot of events. We did one in London, did one for the Fashion Week in New York now recently. And we attract a lot of people, usually 500 to 1,000 in the events. And the concept is that everything is black. We serve you black dishes, black cocktails. We give you black gift in a bag. And that by itself works already, this concept of all black everything.
Okay. Are you trying to be profitable with each of these kind of like ventures, or it's more a branding thing? where
I'm trying to be profitable in everything that I do, but obviously it's like an ecosystem which everything sells for something else. So when we are going to promote like a food store, etc., people who are going to hear about Blvck and want to see what we sell as well. So everything is interconnected. And that's what I love about it, is that I can do anything I want. If I have a new passion tomorrow, because I have a lot of passions in a lot of stuff that excites me, I can do it in Blvck. I wanted to do the restaurants and stuff, I can do it. I am like very deep into the 3D. I'm doing all the 3D work by myself. And this is something that I like to do for the stores. I design my stores. I want to design a Blvck villa that we are going to open and rent it. We did actually a Blvck penthouse in Europe, in Paris, that was for rent. No, it's not actually for rent anymore, because I had some problem with the landlord anyway. But she was working very well, like all the football players was going there and crazy. Yeah.
How do you delegate in your design department? Because if you're the guy who has like all these ideas, but at some point you can't do everything yourself, it's impossible.
Yeah.
How do you do that? When you have your specific vision of what the brand should be and kind of like your ego, founder ego, plus I'm not the CEO, I'm the designer, right? Like creative director. How do you delegate? How difficult is it for you?
So look, in the minds of people, I am the CEO, but in the real life, my sister, Steffi, that works as well at Blvck, is more acting as a CEO because she knows all the numbers, all the stuff, etc. It's more like an ego stuff. But me, I don't have I put my ego for this on the side, I don't care. So the thing is that me, I'm more delegating the creative side. I have troubles to delegate, but I did try a lot with a lot of people. I give chances, but I'm too picky to every time like someone disappoints me, it's bye, So what I do, it's like I have some good guys inside, like Zoran, for example. I will as well send him the podcast. He's a very talented Zoran. So yeah, he's a very talented guy that we hired like a year and a half ago, that do all the other 3D parts, that we don't do. And he knows everybody like the best of the best, And this guy is very talented, but very like me, like open, like a free spirit, that a bit hipsters, but like he knows everything. So what I said, like for me, it's hard to find like someone good enough to delegate. So I don't have a lot of people like that I delegate to, but when I do and I find someone good, it's for the long term. It's like, but I don't have a lot of, to be honest, I have to do sometimes everything by myself. Yeah. Because I have confidence in me. So even if I don't know something, I would believe that I know it better than the other because of the taste. I have the taste, and that's what matters. The technique is something that you can learn like this, It's all about taste.
When did you start Blvck exactly? What year?
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Like in the beginning, it was Blvck Shop. We were selling other brands and stuff, and it was more like Blvck everything. But after 6 months, I dropped this because, when you depend on too much people and there is problem of delivery and stuff, it's too much a shit show, So after I started to do like Blvck myself, I started with MacBook skins actually, like a cheap quality to be honest when I started. But like, I don't know, like what I started, the methodology was I post something on Instagram. So back then I was like 100K followers, 200K, not millions, but it was more like, it was good enough to try all the ideas, I test something, I put like, I don't know, a cards game in Blvck. It went crazy, we did it. After that, we developed the project and sales because we already test the idea on Instagram or social Pinterest or whatever, So that's how we started to test the ideas. We test the idea. If it works, yes, we put it on a sample. After the sample, we produce it if the sample is good enough. And after we start the marketing and the sales. And that's basically how it works.
If you look at the beginning and now, like what are the key like evolution of the business? Like how big did it grow?
So I would say that now we are less pushing on the social media part and more on the business part. Where did it go is that recently we opened more relationship to sell offline, online too, with other like shop online. And then I would believe that we are more focused on the money like the profit, you know, like a business point of view. But me, I try to keep it like very authentic. My job, my sister that is like more active on the financial part, she's more thinking about the revenues and stuff. Me, I'm still more in the want to please everybody part, you know. So I don't care to invest money. She tells me, no, we cannot invest that much money for a photo shoot, for example. That was like recently, you know, we need to put this budget. But me, I'm more like, but it's going to be the best collection in the world. We need to put the maximum of the photo shoots is going to convert, etc. So I have this kind of balance with someone to put my feet on the ground, you know. Otherwise, I only want the best and I spend the best. So you need to be, you know.
How big is the business now?
I would say it's value between 80 and $100 million today, which is not yet my goal.
What's the goal? You said the $1 billion? $1
billion is my goal for now. Yeah.
A profitable business.
It's profitable already. Never had investors here. I spend the money I want.
So zero outside investors.
Zero. Which that's what I'm very proud of it, is that I feel like the business is so like clean and virgin in the way that it's very rare to have a business that worth that much money and that is owned only by the family, you know. Because it's owned by the family. I give shares, by the way, to my sisters, both sisters working there, you know, and we own the company. Because my sisters, I can trust them like nobody in this world, you know.
And you can do whatever you want with the business. You don't have external pressure.
Yes, exactly.
So you can really do this as a founder-led company where you have this long-term view and like you don't have any like short-term
but
kind of incentives that are
thinking to maybe raise money. Because if you want to reach to this 1 billion goal, you cannot do it with a few $1 million, you know. You need like to have like a $100 million coming with a big vision, you know, or something huge, you know. So
basically strategic partnership with big investors who have a lot of distribution and all that stuff, so you can go to the next level in terms of...
I'm thinking of it, but some part of me is like, I don't want to give any % of my company. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. So I'm not sure if I want to stay there and grow like slowly, or to invest a lot of money and grow like expandedly and to be $1 billion company. That's my like now my challenge, you know.
Which is probably linked to what makes you happy. You know, what makes you happy in life? Because you can, the number thing is endless. Like I've been on the podcast, we had people, you know, like...
Yeah, billions and stuff.
Yeah, like 1 million, then no, I want 5, then I want 10, then I want 100, then I want 1 billion, and there's always, as you said before, there's always someone who has more.
It's good.
So you
need an objective. I mean, my objective at first was to be like $1 million brand, you know? That was my objective. I didn't know what is $1 million, you know what I mean? And now it's 1 billion. And before I did I got featured on Forbes magazine for like to be like $1 million brands. It was after 2 years of I been black. So
I saw the article, I think. The one where they talk about the co-founder in Australia.
So I had a co-founder actually, but I bought all his shares. He's not in the company anymore. Because I had another problem with it was not like the first one, because this guy was very a nice guy, very like talent, smart, he worked hard, etc. He just wanted to do studies and he was actually very involved in the crypto. And he lost all this money in FTX, I saw also.
Talking about the co-founders. The co-founder
of Blvck
that you met on Instagram, right?
Yes, actually.
Because he lived in Australia, you were in Europe. That's a very interesting angle. Is it true? Is it correct?
Yeah, you make your research.
Absolutely. I do a lot of research, always.
Yeah.
And again, I've been in multiple businesses. One of them, I met, for one of these businesses, I met my co-founder on Twitter. You met your co-founder on Instagram, which for our parents' generation or other generation, the same as the let's build a lean company and outsource everything, kind of like new kind of doing business, right? Before it's more, let's employ people here. Let's have as many people as possible because it's kind of like what people ask when you have the, you know, you build a company. Let's be kind of like, I have a societal responsibility to hire locally. Like our new generation, thanks to the internet, we're like, I can hire there, boom, much better margins, be more lean, no fixed costs, only variable, the smart way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, like it's not too stupid to do that way. Same, you meet your co-founder online, which is like a really new way of doing business. In crypto, for example, everybody meets online and you never meet in real life. And for example, this guy that I built this business with, we didn't meet for the first 2 years and a half because there was COVID, right? So how did you approach this? I meet this guy online, we build a company together.
So me, at the time, I was active on Instagram. I had like 100,000, something like that, I don't know, followers or more. And I was getting reached by people. People like reach out to me to, I want to do business. That's how I found like even the agency that I was working on for the development of my website before, And this guy, I worked with him on another project called Overbooked. And it was a project for entrepreneur because it was my, kind of sector back then. Was when I was like doing like a project management tool with him. He developed everything, he learned, etc. And he was very serious. So I tested him like this for 6 months, okay? And I still had, you need to know, my agency, the development agency that I manage. So I didn't have like full time to give to be able to be on Blvck. So I gave him like a small minority share of Blvck shop actually back then. And in exchange, he was like the operational guy. I told him like, you are doing all the operations, you make sure that everything is running smoothly, etc. And I told him, let's forget Overbooked. Overbooked was a test. It's not making money. It's not going to make money. I want to do a real business with real product, So he was like, okay. He was like really fan of me. He followed me. Like he's the kind of guy who has mentors. And I don't have a mentor or something like that. I don't like this idea actually. I'm sorry, but I never listen to a podcast. I never listen to anything like that. I don't read books. I learn everything by myself on YouTube or whatever, because it's my personality. But a lot of people like him, he has mentors, he wants this, etc. For me, this is like kind of a shield to say like, yes, I'm going to succeed with this, because you don't have the confidence enough what it takes to make it success yourself, And
I'm not. No, but also,
but that's what I think.
No, but I understand that because it's the same as, everything in life. You have top 1% entrepreneurs, 99% employees, which is not good, better, or worse, right?
For us.
Exactly. And also you have people who create content and you have people who consume content. It's also like this kind of like 1 to 99% ratio.
Exactly.
So like people who actually, if you listen to like Gary Vaynerchuk or these guys, they're like, there's the people who produce, right? And there's people who consume, which is not bad again. But there's really these two games, which is one, you're kind of like stuck to your phone all day. And the other one, you're like, how do I kind of like use this at my advantage, right?
Yeah.
And even had this friend of mine today who is actually he's from Israel, and he was telling me, Kevin, you should read the biography of Elon Musk.
I saw it. I was like, no, I'm not going to read that.
Nathan, shout out. Like, so basically, he's like, Kevin, you should read. And I'm like, I really wish I could read it, but I'm working until 1 or 2 a.m. every freaking day, Saturday, Sunday included. Because today is Saturday. Like, I have to prepare this. Tomorrow, I would like to prepare next week. Like, I don't have time. Like, I really want to, but like, I'm learning by doing versus learning by reading, or listening, so I completely understand your point of view. And I don't think one is better than the other. Or it's more like, you have 24 hours. Like, I need to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours because otherwise my brain doesn't work. So like the rest of the time, what do you do with these hours?
So me,
right?
I'm not someone who, look, every time I work like a lot, and I can work until 5 a.m. And I don't have to have like a good alimentation, a good fitness and stuff. Me, it's all in my mind. This is something like that push the blood to my brain, and I don't need any so I can work like very late and do my stuff. But now I feel like in my time, I prefer to like enjoy life as well, a good time, So I outsource a lot of stuff, but I still try to put my energy on Blvck, when I can like focus, Because at the end, your business, it's what gives me like this kind of confidence and this kind of motivation. Like when you have something else in your life that goes not well, I'm sure that I have Blvck, I can focus my energy on and I will be good. It's a kind of a balance. So
the balance is so important because at some point, as you age or become more mature, you start to realize it's very rarely the case that everything is going well at the same time. Like there is we always say life is like a pendulum, and sometimes you go to an extreme or the other, but like there's kind of this in between. And if you have, for me, I found the same, like if I have really this passion that drives me in like businesses, it's an amazing balance when the relationship with my girlfriend is over, which is what happened 2 months ago, right? And it's sad, but like you're just there like, okay, now, and I'm not hiding into work. It's more like, oh man, I have this mega drive that is like very healthy, I think. Most people might say, oh man, you're boring, you don't come out with us. Like, it's because we're building a new business, we're front-loading phase and everything. But you have this internal drive that makes you happy. And at the end of the day, do I feel happy? And for a man, at least, if you have this like bigger mission, that's when you feel happy.
Yeah, but at the end in your life, I always say that, but you have like 3 pillars, that needs to be like satisfied. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the girlfriend, and with the work. But you know that from Freud. So at the end, it's like a chair, but you can compensate with something else to heal something that is not working. You know what I mean? So what I believe is like when something is not working in the relationship with your girlfriend, you broke up, there is nothing you can do about it. Just time will heal and make you understand. So that's why I said that you need to focus on something else. But the relationship with myself, I think I love myself already too much. So I cannot So this is the work,
It's beautiful to hear that because there's so many people who say, I don't love myself. I love myself too much already.
I swear.
So
I swear, it's just like the truth,
And like, so basically like you need to love yourself. Like no one is going to cheer you up as much as you cheer yourself up.
I think because I stay a lot alone, When you stay a lot alone, you have time to love yourself. When you are with people all the time and try to avoid something, try to party, to stuff, see friends because I don't feel, then you don't have time to even learn yourself and love it. Me, I was someone that was always like in my own space. I say to myself that I'm introvert, but I'm very extrovert. I'm very good with social. I get good with like everything social to make friends. People love me, girls the same. But this is not what I like. It's because I want to prove something.
It's external validation. Yeah.
But I think that actually I'm an introvert kind of guys. And I know it. It's just like people are feeling not good to say openly, I'm introvert. Just me, I started to put my ego for this on the side. But for some, you need to try to put your ego at profit for yourself, and to do it, like to use it as like the best way possible. So some stuff you need to be able to, okay, that's an example. Why I put that on the side sometimes, because I believe, that's how I trick my brain. I believe that if you think that you will put this on your side and you will like the fact that you say something that is like make you sensitive to other people will actually make you up, So you need to understand the psychology of people. It's not because you don't need to be ashamed of something. People when you have weakness.
People love transparency.
They love,
people love transparency. Absolutely.
So that's why I'm confident to say like a lot of stuff that I am, because at the end it makes me who I am,
Because most people feel the same, and
they don't have perfection.
Absolutely not. And before you said, I had dark thoughts, like 24 had dark thoughts, like had some thoughts. I started to think about my own story, which is like I also had like very dark thoughts, suicidal thoughts. Even at some point for 3 months, I couldn't sleep alone because I had like this problem of like suicidal thing where I was basically going to do it if I was not checked on by someone.
Like you had some suicide thoughts?
Actually, like I had like some strong flashes that would make me basically pretty much do it, right? Wow. So I was like, I cannot sleep alone because I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
That's after 3 years of like taking medicine.
When was it?
23 to 26.
Okay.
So 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I mean, after taking...
What was the reason of that? Sorry if I can ask.
So I took some medicine for my hair product. Like it's completely stupid. Like that is basically something that destroys your hormones. So it changes you at the hormonal level. It's called propecia, finasteride.
Okay.
And
this makes you depressed?
It destroyed me completely, mentally, physically, neurologically. I had a cognitive impairment, I had visual problems, I had memory loss. Even in this conversation, I would basically not be able to, I would have a conversation with clients and in the middle of the conversation or with a prospect, and instead of saying, oh yeah, we did this assignment, I would say, oh, we did this banana. Like random words, completely fucked up. Like, and then at some point I would just be like 4 days in my bed, like sick, What
did you learn? It was I guess you didn't know it was from the pill in the beginning, maybe.
I needed a year and a half and then have a lot of different problems and then still be in denial. And then at some point, meet with a friend of mine from university who had the cancer, like phase 3 out of 4, basically 4 out of 4, you're dead.
Wow.
And then he told me about his story about cancer and I'm extremely empathetic. So like, I feel everything you're going to tell me. Plus I was completely fucked up already since a year and a half. So I'm in this bar with him and he started to tell me about the cancer thing. And like, I'm starting to feel like I'm already fucked up and feel terribly bad, but I need to listen to him by respect, right?
Of course.
But I feel the thing, like he tells me the whole thing about the chemotherapies and all that stuff and how it's a nightmare it is.
Wow.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say nothing, but I start to feel like anxiety everywhere, like physical and everything, pins and needles. And then at some point he tells me, but then I got better with the chemo. And then he tells me, but after 4 months, the cancer came back. And then he says, then I have to do an operation. And he shows me his belly with the scars. And at that moment, it's too much, you know? So I basically faint. And I wake up on the floor and I have like 10 people around me. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm in Switzerland, in London, wherever. Right? And then I'm like, fuck, like I just fainted. And the guy who had cancer, like a really bad cancer, like testicular cancer that came everywhere in his body, tells me that, and he's the one bringing me to the hospital after I did and I'm like, I feel so ashamed. I'm like, the dude had the worst fucking thing ever, and he's bringing me to the hospital. What a shame. That day, basically something broke up in me, and I started to have panic attack every 2 or 3 days for no reason. Like I could even like go to a restaurant, like panic attack, 1 hour on the floor, like. So I couldn't do anything anymore. I had to stop working, which is why we sold our first company, because I was the guy who was doing all the biz dev. Co-founders were amazing, but good employees, like they wouldn't be any business, right? And I was like, I'm so fucked. I can't work anymore. It's impossible. Like, but I was still taking the pill. I didn't know
How
it
did
was
you
that.
manage to stop, to heal? Because today you look.
So after
That's what-
6 more months, I did a lot of things, acupuncture. I went to Thailand to learn Reiki, you know, like energy healing with your hand, to do it to myself. Like I was actually treating cancer patient, like, but I was like, actually it's for me, but I'm not going to tell people. I did yoga, everything, but it was not working.
What worked?
Nothing. So at some point, I'm like,
But you still taking the pills that
I
makes you.
still take it because
So
I
you
don't
didn't know
know.
it was this.
I don't know what that.
Because I heard that I have a friend that take this and tell me, but it's
It's-
not good. Blah, blah. But
it's
for him,
destroying.
it depends on the people. For him, he takes this since 18 and he doesn't have any problem.
Yeah, if you're bad luck. I'm very sensitive to
know.
alcohol, whatever I put in my body, very sensitive. So probably unlucky. At some point, long story short, I try everything, you know, entrepreneur mindset. I take this as a game. I'm like, man, I'm going to find a solution to this shit because no doctor understands it's called post-finasteride syndrome.
Okay.
So I go to do some hypnosis. My mother, she's like, there's this hypnosis, my massage.
You didn't believe in this.
Huh?
You believe in
I
it?
believe in everything. Like, to be honest, I'm very curious and open-minded.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'll try it. Like, what worst case, it does nothing. Best case, it helps me a bit. I do that, one session of hypnosis, and the session goes wrong. I get out of that, completely suicidal. Yeah, literally, like she did something, and after, like my parents, everyone was on holiday. So like, because I was back home because I had to heal myself, right? So I was back at my parents at 26. I'm like, oh man, like I'm going to take some time off the business of London where I was busy with the business to focus on myself. She fucks me up and become like, that's the moment where I become like really suicidal. And I'm like, I have these strong flashes where I'm like basically dead on the floor in the middle of blood with
you
my
don't look like
wrist
someone.
open. And like, it was so strong, the flashes, that it was making me go to take a knife and basically want to do it. You know, people who were very suicidal, like they compare that to like sneezing. Except if you sneeze, you're dead, right? So you have this itch and like...
You need to not sneeze.
You need to not sneeze, exactly. So it's not like, I'm so depressed, I'm so sad, I'm going to kill myself. No. It's like you have an impulse that you can't control, right? And same as people kind of kill other people. So like, I almost want to say like, I'm kind of like, I understand people commit suicide, like basically. I mean, a lot of people, and also I read a lot of stuff, 50% of people have suicidal thoughts in their life, whatever. It's kind of like more common, which you said before, the more you open up.
I didn't have like a suicide with my French accent, it's hard to say. But I didn't have like this thought, you know. Me, what I had was different. It was more like, I was dark, but I loved my life too much to have these thoughts. But yes, sometimes you ask yourself, what if, you know? Just this what if part. I didn't have like this full commitment part. It was like, what if, you know? And, you know, it makes you like control, you know, you can decide about your life. But that's it. Stop there.
I think at least one person out of two has these thoughts. From what I read, like, like a lot of people go through that. For me, it was basically, at someone, I'm like, this is too much. I need to find a solution. what are the worst diseases that exist out there? Cancer probably is one of them. So I go, how do people cure cancer? Juice fast 90 days. You don't eat anything, just drink juice. Plus you do a bunch of other stuff, chemo and all that stuff. Water fast 10, 21 days. And so I just like stopped eating for 7 days, just took water. And I was like, okay, how did this medicine affect me? I'm going to find something that has the opposite side effects of this medicine. So basically I need to, because it was for hair loss, right? So basically I need to have something that make me lose my hair. And also the medicine was for prostate cancer. So I need to have something that side effect is lose my hair and potentially give me prostate cancer. Mm-hmm. And I discovered the entire world of biohacking, which basically is taking natural herbs, testosterone boosting herbs, nootropics, mushroom to like regenerate neuroplasticity. All that stuff is an amazing field where you do a bunch of mix of fasting with taking herbs and a bunch of stuff. And for me, it worked amazingly well. I did that for many, many months. And like another fast, and then 3 months very strict, and then another fast. And after a year, I was just like.
So me, I'm not like in this vibe. Me, it's everything in the mind. I don't think that there is a huge impact. I think that the world outside, what you eat, what you do, your health, the fitness and everything, is just going to improve you to be like a better version when you do your stuff. But for me, everything is in your mind. So you need to take the problem to tackle it from inside, you know? And not from like a therapy and hypnosis. Hypnosis, it works only if you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it will not work. That's what I believe, you know, at the end.
So for me, I realized that all these, you know, therapy, whatever, is external that are good to kind of cope with the situation. But the only way you're going to heal from real shit, depression, anxiety, whatever illness is from within. And from within could be your mind, but it's also, for example, fasting is like amazing because you have this, it's called autophagy. So it's basically eating up all your bad cells and it's amazing for physical and mental health. So what can I do and complete lifestyle changes in my life to heal myself? Because no one else will be able to do it for me. Mm-hmm. And also they have their own life. They see you 1 hour here and there. They have their own anxiety and business and thing and, you know.
Yeah.
So it was really like a lifestyle change that made the whole difference. And then I started to build businesses again. I'm doing amazing.
How old are you?
31.
31?
31.
Okay. 32.
32.
And I look young. Oh, maybe not.
You look like you would be like 27, 28.
Exactly. But here in Asia, they think that I'm like 35, you know.
35.
I was like shocked, you know. Usually people give me like, ask me for ID to even drink sometimes for 21 years old, you know.
How do you take it?
35, I don't like it. 21, I love it. Like everybody, you know.
For me too, it's like, I thought you were 40. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you for the compliment.
No, I thought you were my age actually, 32.
Okay. No, but like people here for me is the same. I hear it often. Like, oh
yeah,
man,
they think that you're old.
We talked about cancer.
Yeah.
Your dad had cancer.
I told you, yes. Yeah. Exactly. He had like a lungs, above the lungs cancer, esophagus. I don't know how to say it in English.
I don't know how to say that either.
Anyway.
Esophagus.
Yes, esophagus.
So it's the tube that we have in the body.
Exactly. The tube that we have that connect the stomach. So what happened actually is that I was in the restaurant with him. It was just after my breakup of the 5 years and a half relationship, actually, in the same time. And he tells me, yeah, I did some tests, etc. I did the test. He was with my mom, you know. I was like, okay, how it went? Not good. So what do you mean not good? I have a cancer. So
when was that?
It was 4 or 5 years ago, or something like that. I don't remember. In France, in Paris, in a restaurant, and then I stand up, and like I see everything like blurry, you know. I just go to the toilet and I cried. I'm like very sensitive, I told you. So yeah, it was like one of the worst moments actually in my life, and I thought everything was right. Like I cried, I like clean my face, come back, like everything happened. Like we're going to go over it, it's okay, etc. And I thought it didn't affect me, you know. But I think that's like a reason that makes, maybe this is the reason that, you know, it was in the same time I founded Blvck actually, you know, and I was getting into this dark vibe and stuff. But my brain was like hiding me from this fact at the time. I thought it was okay. I was like.
So you're suppressing your emotions basically, instead of feeling them.
The problem is like, when I really love something, someone, or, and something like breaks my trust, confidence, I can erase that event from my mind, Like I'm tricking my mind. That's what I'm telling you, like before, to be able to not take all the pains. So I just need like one night to take it out, and after I'm like a different person each time. It's not necessarily good, but at least it helps with the pain. So
you were managing basically one night to go from like your father telling you that he has cancer to like being
that
like
was different. That was too strong for this. I'm talking about like basic events. This was too strong. Like I just never took it on me. Except now, after the time when, but at the time I was like, no, it's okay. I don't know, like just trying not, my brain don't think about it. It's like everything's fine. You're hiding to yourself all the problem and it's going to be fine. Hopefully it went fine, but it was like very risky cancer and stuff. So he took the best surgeries, went well, but I never imagined that I was trying, I don't know, my brain didn't imagine that I was going to actually lose him. But he made me think a lot about the life, the death, and I had like this kind of process in my mind very late at 24 that we can die. It's stupid, but I didn't think like we can die. I thought I was invincible,
That's actually not late. Because before you said, oh man, to realize my own potential, like I took a lot of time. I was 19 or 20. Like most people don't even like realize the potential until they're 80 years old.
Yeah.
Now you say, I realized so late that basically life is finite, 24 years old. A lot of people, I think you need to have some really bad events like that, or someone dying or near death to like start to realize about the fact that life is finite. And even you still keep living, because what else can you do anyway?
Of course. I had this friend. So I was in the university in the last year, and I had like a friend who was sent to another university that is close to my university because I had a business. I could not go outside of the country. And I was doing all the projects with him. And this friend was like completely like, how to say it, like in the dark side of his time. He was drinking alone, sending me like videos of him drinking and saying like, I am not, I'm a bullshit, blah, 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 etc., blah, 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 etc. Okay.
So thinking very low about himself.
Yeah, very low esteem, etc. I start to become very good friend with him. I see his families and everyone like around him, his sisters, etc. And then one morning, like I knew something was wrong, And one morning I come in his place and I saw like his family is crying and everything. He's like just suicide, I was like 23, just
he committed suicide.
Yeah, with like a tie, his suicide. His family seemed like dead like this. And I was so affected by this. Like it was like the first like time I see someone that's like I was becoming this like very good friend, and everything, So that was like such a tragic event for me. I took it like very like sensitive. I went after to the funeral. I started to cry a lot, And then his father looked at me like everyone, said like, yes, I'm sorry for your loss, etc. I was doing the line. I see his family, and then he saw me. What happened? What happened? Crying, like this. His father was like in love with him. I saw him all the time, making him like a coffee and taking his arm like this. And he looks like from a good family. Everything was right, And that was like the first contact I had with the death, actually, before my father cancer. That I thought something might happen, etc. It was him. So this affected me, but make me grow as well,
What did you learn? And like, what did you change did you change things in your life after that?
No. I said, no, it didn't change me in the way that I am, but it changed me in the way that I started to think more about like others and empathy and what people feel and why like people die around you see more every day. You say like, okay, maybe I could have done something, but me, I'm not like that. I say, no, I could not. I'm not taking any like responsibility on anything of this.
But does it make you more empathetic, like when you're having a conversation with an employee who is not performing well, for example, thinking like, I should be nice to this person. Obviously, like there's boundaries and limits, but like I should be kinder or more empathetic because everybody's going through something beside job, work. Like there's a reason why people act a certain way.
Not really, I took it like personally, but it didn't affect the business side of my life. The business side, for me, it's completely different of my side, me. business and me, it's like I never mix it, you know. Like I mix it, but I don't mix it really well. Like it didn't affect on this. It affected more on the fact that like about the life, about myself, about the relationship with others, about like how the others feel. I can lose someone. Why I didn't like do something to prevent that? Like I thought about it quickly, and then I thought myself I could do nothing. And like people, I talked to some people. Apparently, like he broke up with someone like a year and a half ago. So it was a long time ago, but he was really in love. He didn't like. Apparently, this person like date his best friend or whatever, and you know, like for me, people that sorry for him, but people that commit stuff like that for that kind of reason, they are weak in their minds. They are me. I didn't even have like that the thoughts of killing myself in my life. I'm not saying that I'm strong or anything, but I'm saying that you should see the big picture in the life. You should not like see like, oh, you feel bad today, so you want to commit suicide. You know what I mean? This is something that is deeper than that. So for me, they are just weak and stupid. That's what I believe for all the people that I cannot say it's bad, but you know.
So at least they're very selfish.
Yeah, they're selfish because they're like the family that love them. I was when someone die, I'm not talking about the people who die, because to die is like a relief, you know, for the life. It's not going to be in pain or anything. It's a pain for all the people that is surround this person at the end.
How much do you think social media played a part in Blvck success?
A lot. Like it started with social media from the beginning. Actually, I'm happy that we rebound to brand and business because it was getting too dark. But yeah, so actually like the social media was the beginning of Blvck. You know, like that's how we actually like find the customers, what they like, what you want to produce, what are the markets of Blvck, you know. Like, to be honest, we are like really present in the Asian market, like Taiwan, Japan, Macau, Hong Kong, in US, you know, we are opening a store in New York. We're opening a store. We already opened actually a store in New York like 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And now we are opening in California, in Santa Clara, in the 11th of November. But the socials is the main part of Blvck from the beginning, because Blvck was a social brand before becoming a fashion brand, you know? And we listen to the customers, give us like what they need, what they want. And that's how actually we learn. I learned, I was doing that work at the time, what people want, what people need, you know? Of course, I did a lot of product that didn't sell. I remember about this soap. I did a black soap and nobody bought it. This product we kept for the website in 6 months. But anyway, I mean, the socials, what I mean by that is the insight of the market. So it's very important. Very important. It's not like the thing that will make you really like convert and get to the customers, but it's the thing that will get you like the insight to what type of product they want, how to sell it, how to communicate. Because the marketing in the brand is like 99% of the job. The product, as long as you respect some fabrics and some stuff. I mean, I saw like all the fabrics used by the big brands. We use the same. It's not about the quality, you know?
So what's really interesting is that you're a very creative person, but you have a very data-driven approach.
Of course.
That's exactly what you're saying here.
I studied like engineering.
Yeah.
This is my insight, my background, you know?
So social media is amazing to build basically a brand and a following and kind of like a cult, but at the same time, it's even more amazing to collect data about your customers and test products and see what works and what doesn't and taste.
You can do stuff by feeling if you want, etc. It will work in the beginning. But if you want to grow from a 1 million to like a 10, 100 million brands, like I did, you need to get this extra data, extra insight that will make you learn quicker, you know? That's what I believe. Like, you really need to get the data. But from the beginning, I did it like to what people want. You cannot like invest money and yeah, I hope they will like it. You know what I mean? You need some kind of hypothesis to be confirmed.
How powerful is social media? Or how powerful of a tool is social media in the fashion industry?
Depends for who, but for fashion in general, it is important, but not that much important. I see a lot of brands that is doing like very bad on socials, and I don't like they sell a lot and they do like hundreds of millions and there was billions, but you see like their socials, they are like not good, But for new brands, this is very important. Like mine, 6 years is not like new, but it's not like old. You know what I mean? It's a new brand, so I need to get this extra that other brands don't have because we are not legit in the eye of everyone. So you need to appear like a legit brand. They heard about it. So the social are like, you need to do some stuff in the socials if you really want to overperform, to do something great.
Do you think that these fashion brands that are not good at social media are leaving money on the table, or they don't really need that social media part because it's more of a, how do I go from 0 to 1 rather than from 1 to 100?
It's different. They are like, it's too big organization. They have a lot of stores. They have a lot of resale points. They already make a lot of money. They're trying the socials, but in a way that they outsource to like a studio that tell them like, yeah, we know it's our, but they don't know the brands as much as they do. And I didn't mean it's different because I did all the activities on the companies since the beginning. I was always there to learn something and then I outsource it. I don't outsource straight, I always learn some activity, and once I know how it works, then I like to outsource, to delegate. So that's how I work,
It's basically when I built my first company, I had as a mentor, the founder CEO of a company called checkout.com.
I think I know this company.
It's called Guillaume Pouza. He basically, it's worth 40 billion now.
Yeah,
and he owns still 80% of the business. And so he was telling me, you need to dominate your company. Whatever thing is happening in your company, you need to understand it first and dominate it.
Of course.
You need to dominate everything. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to build like a big brand. So it's exactly what you're saying, basically.
100% agree.
You need to understand this part and the distribution and the marketing and the sales and the finance, and then you outsource.
Yeah.
But you need to have a really deep understanding of that before. If you're just outsourcing from the get-go, like you are not dominating your company anymore, so you're putting yourself at risk.
Exactly. 100% agree with that. You need to... But me, I'm a quick learner. I don't, I told you, I don't do podcasts, I don't do tutorials a lot, etc. I like to learn by myself because I believe I'm smart enough. If someone else did it, I will do it. Why not? I will learn it. And that's the way of thinking that makes me actually be confident enough to make my mistakes and to learn from it quickly. Okay, I make a mistake quickly, forget, in the past. That's how I see it. So I agree with that statement for sure.
What's the pivotal factors that led to Blvck being that recognized and growing that much on social media? What are the techniques you used?
So in the beginning, I started with socials. Like we are big, it works well. I get 100K followers soon because I had my other Instagram I was active on. I promote it. And actually just went viral in the algorithm of Instagram. I was getting 20K followers a week, and it was going crazy. So in the beginning, it was more like, let's see that you are big and mysterious too, because, we were not big, So,
Which still, when we look at your account today, personal one is actually the word I was looking for in the beginning. Like you're showing some part of your life, but it's very mysterious. Yeah. And it's part of the brand, obviously. Like even before, I was like,
it's part of me. I'm giving my personality to it. I'm giving 100% of myself to what I do.
Which is so interesting because like this conversation is like the opposite of what you can see online. Even before, I was like, how is the guy going to show up? Maybe he's not going to show his face. You don't know, because the person like is a creative, but like you're just a normal dude.
I'm like a spontaneous guy. I don't like to... I have a problem with fake it, So on social, I cannot appear as myself and fake something. So if I appear as myself like today, I need to have like a spontaneous real-time conversation. Mm-hmm. Like this podcast, I didn't think about it at all before. Mm-hmm. I don't think about stuff. I just like to be, if I think about stuff, it's going to be like shit. It's going to be a shit show. I don't like to be. So I learned that for me, the best way to be myself is to, like basically like I was on the taxi to come here and I was planning, managing with my girlfriend the trip in Tokyo. We are going to Tokyo soon. Mm-hmm. So,
which is tomorrow, right?
You're tomorrow, exactly. Tomorrow. So I was thinking about that, like, it's going
where are we staying tomorrow,
etc. Yeah, because that's the best I can give you. It's the authentic version of myself that don't think before acting. And I learned that. That's it.
So
that's
fake
what I
it.
give you.
So fake it till you make it, and then
So fake it till meeting was the beginning, because you need to learn, you need to know that people not going to buy you if you just like authentic and you are a good person. They're going to buy you because they know that people want to buy this brand and because it's hype, etc. So all the brands are doing that.
obviously,
All the brands.
and all the people who are brands too are doing that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then, what's the pivotal moment you say, okay, we faked it, and like we're kind of like starting to make it. It's building a business, building a brand. It's all the same. You're building momentum, and the way you build momentum, you need to kind of oversell a bit everywhere, here and there, until you get the momentum, and then like the thing is taking care of itself.
So I was lucky enough actually from the beginning to actually make some sales, a lot of sales. I was doing like already like 100, not a lot, but like 100, between 100 and 200K a month in like after 6 months of operation. But to be honest, it was like break even with a lot of cost, you know? So I was already like with this ego that yes, I'm making 150K a month. But on the other side in the paper, you know, I don't get a lot in my bank account, you know, right? So yeah, it was like, I mean, I tried to stay positive. So I was happy with this, to be honest, you know, I was very happy with this. And then I just started to see the potential. I always knew it was going to be a success. I just knew it. Like people tell me something, they wait a few years, you will see. Like I knew it, you know, it was like I just knew it. I don't know how to tell you otherwise that I knew it, because I don't know why I knew it, but I knew it.
Yeah.
I had this feeling. Usually I'm not wrong with the feeling, so I knew it.
It's the gut feeling of the entrepreneur. The one that's going to make you start the thing, even if no one believes in it. The one that's going to make you keep your line and mission, even if people tell you, oh, but I think this, I think that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm listening to you, but I don't care. Like basically, and the real entrepreneurs, they will all tell you, the feedback of people, it's good, but you have your own idea and your own vision of the future. So listen to them, but follow your gut feeling and your intuition.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get to...
So it was not a gut feeling. It was like, for me, how I see it is a knowledge, you know, it's going to be successful. I swear, like I cannot tell you how much I was confident with this. Like I'm not confident in a relationship with someone and stuff like this, but with this, I was confident because it was only me who can impact this, nobody else. So that's how like, actually I kept working and motivated and passionate, and I make it like grow every year, you know, just with confidence. I think that confidence is like, some people don't see it, but that's the most important. I don't think people are more stupid, a bit more, but not like completely more stupid and more smart than others. I think that everyone has a potential that is hidden in self and needs to be unlocked. That's my vision on it, okay?
So it's basically linked to almost the people who make it either have this hyper confidence or they have this like almost delusional sense of self-belief where they're like, I'm going to be able to make that thing. I know I will. And most people will be like, why would you be able to do that? And just because you believe in it so much, you're able to make it happen. And actually other people, if they had the same sense of self-belief, which most people would classify as delusional, they would also be able to make it happen.
Yeah, but
provided obviously the skills and everything, obviously.
Of course, and as well, like you need to have like a lot of confidence, but you need to be as well like keep your feet on earth. You know what I mean? You need to be able to see, like you don't need to think that you are the best. You need to know your default. You need to your dropouts and your limits. You know what you're good in, what you're not. You need to be completely impartial with yourself. You know, like put your ego in the sides in a way, because ego for me it's like it's a big thing. Like it's not just the ego; it's a lot of concepts that goes behind it. So you need to put your ego in the side and to be able actually to think as a third person. You know, that's how I do every time for anything in the life. Even when I'm ordering food, you know what I mean? It becomes like something that I do like all the time. It's like to try to think like, what do I really want to eat? What do I really want to do? What do I really want to achieve? What do they really, you know?
Can you give Can you give a food example? Because I don't really understand it.
That's stupid, but it's like, I don't know. I want to eat like, for example, Wagyu because, you know, I'm in Japan, it's Wagyu time, you know? And then I'm thinking to myself, but what I really want to eat? So I imagine myself eating some food. No, actually, I want like a risotto. I don't know. I give you an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically being less impulsive and more taking a step back and
so
looking at
having the
things.
confidence, basically, like summary, having like the confidence, the like supreme confidence, but being able to not like put your ego like you are the only person in this world, and to try to see it. Okay, but is it good or not, and why? What do I need, etc. It's like a 2-dimension kind of vibe.
So you've been on this Black Paris journey for 6 years.
Yeah.
And at some point, there's this crypto thing that comes into your life, right? And this NFT thing that you were able to make a connection with for the business.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
For sure. So actually, what happened is like 2 years before the NFTs came up, the concept of NFTs, or actually the popular concept of NFTs, I was actually learning the 3D. 3D. So I started to learn Blender. I kept actually with Blender. And like I was not good in the first year, but I started to become very good after 2-3 years, And then the NFT concept came, and it was a time when we were trying to expand Black to digital market. So we were trying to do like, we did like some icons to put like your iPhone with a theme that is all black, even crazy. We sold like $500,000 of digital products, in like months. We started to make presets to put your photo as like the black, concept when everything is black and white and stuff. We sold it as well, like a ebook and stuff like this. And the NFTs was perfect because I was like, a digital product is like a money that you come straight without any cost. So you can finance other activities with it, because when you do like products, you need to invest in a huge chain. When you have like a sample to come, you launch the production. 2 months after that, the production is going to be ready. They need to send it to your warehouse. We have like several warehouses in the world, in US, in Europe, in China, everywhere, And then you need to send half in the boat, half in the plane. Anyway, there was a huge process. Digital products, I designed some icons, etc. I sell it. I get the money. They get the link. That's it. Finished. There is no people complaining about the product they receive,
So what did you do?
So I did like all this, and then NFTs came, and me, I'm like really about all of this artsy vibe. This is me, and I loved it. Just like, Nifty Getaway was going to be popular. I don't like them. I talk to them. They are very like pretentious, just about the money. But make your space. That's why we did the collaboration. They are more human. We had a good fit with them. So we did like the dark mode series. And the dark mode series, it was more to put like Black Paris in the NFT map, to introduce to the community all about Black Paris branding, all the aspect of the branding. And what was important is that I do all the artworks by myself, no help. I did everything by myself, all the 3D work that I learned prior to that 2 years before that. So it was a lot for me, because I was like kind of exposing myself naked into a new community that I don't know. And it's my art. It's going to sold out or not. This is something public, when it's sell out or not.
Yeah.
So at the end, it's not like when I release like a collection, why it worked great, why it didn't work. Nobody knows. When you do NFTs, people know it's going to sell out or not, etc. The price, it's sold out. So for me, it was a lot of pressure, actually. A lot of, that's when I knew a bit more stress, with NFTs. It's a very stressful environment, as you know, crypto in general.
Yeah.
And so I introduced the Dark Mode 1 series. It was a huge success. So I'm very happy about it. Sell out in the first day. It was not like a collection, it was more like artsy, kind of 1 of 10, 1 of 20 limited pieces, Then we did actually 3 series with them, 3 Dark Mode series. And after that, I wanted to introduce like the collection, the collection, like, all these collections of 10,000 units, etc. Yeah. But I didn't want to do just a collection to grab money vibe, I want really to have like a sense behind it. That's why with the Black Genesis collection, I linked it directly to the core business of Black, which is the membership. Which means when you buy an NFT, first of all, it gives you all the access to like 20, 30, 40% of the store, like lifestyle, as long as you hold the NFTs, you know. It has a value that you can sell if you don't want to be part of it anymore. You get invited to some events that are produced by Blvck. You get like a bunch of benefits and free products, etc. So that was a bit like the introduction to the crypto market for Blvck. Yeah.
You told me you had like 100,000 people on the whitelist before?
Yes, exactly. So actually, the marketing of Blvck goes well with we have like an audience that is really like gamers as well. And the gamers and the NFTs and the cryptos, it's a bit connected. You have a lot of gamers in this field. So first, there was a lot of already people who learn about Blvck and feel connected to Blvck or feel like want to be part of it, because Blvck is kind of the badass vibe, you know, that people, gamers, etc., that are a bit like more introvert would love to be like, yes, I have a Blvck, it's cool, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a perfect fit. So actually the project, like I saw, like as soon as I released like a little Discord, etc., it started to become crazy. People talking about it, etc. It was like word of mouth, and I don't know, like some other project, like Cite Us, some people invent a collaboration with us that we didn't do. So we did like a great marketing in a way that we had like 100,000 people subscribed to be able to just buy the NFTs.
And you're doing all that stuff yourself on
all
Discord,
the NFTs,
everything yourself.
No, I had a team actually. Me, I did all the NFTs collection myself. I did all the 10,000 avatars. I learned everything myself from scratch. Me, I'm doing 3D, but for like interior design, for products, but I don't do like 3D for humans, stuff like this. And you are selling like NFTs that you can humans. So it took me like 2 months to learn how to make humans in 3D. Like ants, everything is so hard, you know? So I learned that very quickly. And when I found like the perfect face that can be generative in 10,000 units to look like a male and female, that's funny actually, because everybody told me that the NFT looks like me actually. That's so funny. I don't know, but that makes me laugh about it. So I did that.
You said there is another drop coming soon.
Yeah. So there is another drop coming soon. Okay, I will talk about it, but it's still confidential because we are going to release the information in like a week or two. So
it's not going to be out before that anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So we are going to do like, we are working, we just signed actually with a collaboration with Paris St Germain, PSG.
Okay, nice.
Yes. And it's going to be a dual actually drop. It's going to be like Web3 and Web2. You know, we do like the collaboration with crypto.com. It's going to be available there.
Amazing.
As a mystery box.
The president of Crypto.com is coming on the podcast in a few weeks, actually.
Ah, yes?
Eric, yeah.
Ah, okay, amazing.
It's a small word.
Yeah.
Amazing, okay. So what are you guys going to do?
So we have like a dual collaboration, physical, if you want, you know, physics and digital. And it's going to be as well the collection like of products is going to be available in our stores in the US and Asia, I think. Yeah. I need to check it. But I don't know every store, so I'm not managing everything on the daily. And I'm not actually like, I did all the design for them, for the clothes, the streetwear, etc. But I'm not involved, to be honest, completely in the marketing in the way that I have too much collaboration and stuff coming. So I need to focus on my stuff, you know.
But what do people actually get from buying this drop concretely?
So basically,
PSG drop.
They get like a physical limited collection, black type PSG that's only going to be available via this drop, you know.
Okay.
So this is something that's unique that we do with them. And actually PSG really fits the brand Black Paris. In the way we both from the same cities. They dress as well. They like black and all of this kind of vibe. So for us, it's like, it was a good, let's say, opportunity, you know. So we have other collaborations coming too. But to be honest, I cannot say names because my sister, if she sees that, she would kill me. She doesn't like when we share stuff because we sign contract, you know.
I understand.
And we have like some agreements with them until it releases. But we did like recently release, for example, a collaboration with Kissa Ring, the foundation. More Artists was very popular actually. We released it like 3 weeks ago. So we are actually working with other artists from New York, very famous, that will be released next year. We have as well some exciting collaboration with some more not streetwear brands, you know, brands that are doing like, I don't know, like food, cards game and stuff that you see every day. but just in all black. And that's the vibe I want in black. I don't want to do a collaboration with another brand that is similar to mine. I want to do a collaboration with like an IKEA or something like that. You know what I mean? At the end, I want something that people don't expect to come. That's what I want.
What are you guys doing with Coinsilium, your kind of official Web3 partner?
Yeah. So actually, they really believed in us since the beginning. They want to invest actually in us before we release anything crypto related. And we know them personally. We came to see them a lot. Whether it's like when we were like in Portugal, I was doing like a presentation in a conference. He came there to see us because it's in Gibraltar. They are located not so far. So we know them on top of this personally. And then we love those guys. They are very smart, insightful. And us, the crypto is not our field. We are more like Web2 companies. So the cryptos, it's something that we like to ask the advice of people who know best, you know, basically. So they're like an advisory partner for the Web3.
Okay.
Let's say it's, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, because now is a pivotal moment of this conversation where we're going to talk about fast fashion.
Fast fashion, okay.
So you built a luxury fashion brand, right?
Yes.
And on the other hand of the spectrum, we have these brands such as Shine, H&M, Mango, Zara, of this word that we also called fast fashion.
Yes.
What's the problem that fast fashion like Shine brings to this word?
I love fast fashion, actually. Like Zara, for me, it's my favorite brand, I want to tell you.
For me, it's one of the brands I use the most, to be honest. So.
It's not I use the most. It's like when you own everything you do and you accept it, yeah, Zara is my favorite brand. Why? Okay, it costs me a lot less than some Dior t-shirt or L'European or whatever brands, you know. Yeah. But at the end, you get much more value for it. Because me, I don't like to anyway wear a logo that people will see it. And after, if I wear it again, I look like, you know what I mean? I like simplicity. So everything else, so I wear black or brands like Zara. No. And I'm telling you that because I was like the kind of guy who cannot go out without wearing like a Dior polo or whatever, you know.
Before?
Yeah, before.
Wow, okay.
No, I know everything in the fashion, you know, I know it works. And I know they are selling like some dreams that I don't need to prove myself anymore. So I needed to go through a phase of success to understand what is behind it. And this brand is for insecure people, basically. That's for that. They are created for the poor, not for the rich.
Let's repeat that. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And very good for a viral short clip.
So look.
So who wears... So we're talking about fast fashion, right? And Zara and H&M that a lot of people can criticize because of it's not sustainable, the way they basically produce. But actually here, we're talking about Dior, right? Or, I mean, whatever luxury brand.
Okay.
You're saying that Dior, for example, is a brand for insecure people. Why?
So a lot of people have something to prove, you know. Most of the people work in a job in 9 to 5 and they don't know how to prove themselves. So for me, the luxury is a concept that has been invented for the poor. It's a product for the poor, basically. I was poor before. I was wearing like Dior and stuff like this all the time. I needed this, you know, to prove that I am someone. But no, I know who I am. Everybody knows. And the people I want them to know who I am, they do. So for me to wear a Zara t-shirt is even more a flex. I don't give a shit, you know.
So what do rich people wear? Zara? What else?
Like, it depends, you know, everyone is different. There is still some rich people that feel like they have money, so they need to spend, you know, but they're insecure in other ways, you know. Money is not everything, even though it's most of it. But, you know.
That's so interesting because it reminds me of my time in 2021, peak of the crypto bull market. I was living in Dubai with these crypto friends that some of them we both know, right?
Yes.
And they would all have these, I mean, Patek, Richard Mille, everything. Then you would have this gold chain like rappers.
Okay, but watch is different for me. Okay.
Watch is different, but they would basically have a lot of different watches, but like as shiny as possible. The gold chains, the Dior t-shirt and everything. And I would be the dude who, since I'm basically 15 or 16, I have my black Zara t-shirt, $20. The one is like a bit
I have the same.
The one that is a bit like tight because like I do gym and everything. And I feel good and I don't give a fuck actually. So today I made some effort because I was like, okay, well, dress well for this podcast. But usually it's just like a Zara black t-shirt that at some point where, you know, the thing with these Zara t-shirts is at some point you wash them and they become kind of like less black.
It's just because you like them more than the other brands, so you wear them more. You know what I mean?
Yep. So basically at some point you wash them and at some point I can't wear that anymore because it's kind of like gray and not black, but I wear them for gym then. So it's kind of like recycled for gym, right? And these friends actually, I would always make fun of them because like, man, like you need to, but because most of them, they were very poor when they grew up, right? Mm-hmm. So like the way to overcompensate is I get wealth, like nouveau riche, and I need to spend in all these different things and show off and even the rings are like diamond and everything, right? But they always told me, I was like, man, like me, I don't give a fuck. I love a cool watch, but like I have my Zara t-shirt, I feel great in it. Like, because for me, it's all about how you feel in your mind and your body. And if I feel like I look good, like I don't need to wear a suit or amazing brands to look better. Like I feel like, and they always told me actually, you were like, oh, we love you for that because of your simplicity. Mm-hmm. Now you're telling me that you also love your black Zara t-shirt that's like $15.
Yeah, but this is something that I learned like recently, like not so long ago, when in the process of like knowing myself and being like the most authentic version, not the best version, but the most authentic version. The best version is something that you saw on Instagram, but the most authentic version for me is that's the best version of yourself that you can be actually at the end, you know? Yeah. Like, okay, I like me, the expensive stuff that I spend my money on is watch, okay? But at the end, it makes me like more rich than someone who will buy like a Gucci bag or whatever, you know what I mean? In the way that if you buy goods, there is a value like an asset, like a real estate. And for me, the only thing that defines us as like in the fashion way should be simplicity. And then the watch is something that, you know, tells a lot about someone, like a story, you know, it's just like, it's personal. I know like some people think that it's very fake, you know, all the watches, everything. And me too, I was thinking that like recently actually. And just like I grew some attachments to this concept, you know.
What would 32 years old Julian tell 18 years old Julian if you met him today?
So, look, there is nothing to tell. You learn by the mistakes, you learn by your experience. I cannot say something because it will influence my past and I will overthink this and then I will like, no, what will I say? At the end, like everything I did was for a reason to learn something about myself. So I like everything about, I told you I really love myself. So everything that I did, I have no problem with that. Maybe on the business side, that is, you know, maybe yes, I think I can teach me some stuff, but I will not understand it anyway because I don't experience this. I know myself when I was 18, I was as well stubborn that I am today, but without knowledge, without like experience. So at the end, like, okay, yes, whatever. You know what I mean? I would talk to myself like this. So I'm guessing that what I did that I like is that I always try, you know? And people who are like afraid to try, they would just lose time. Me, I tried since I'm like, that's my luck. I tried since I'm like 12, 13. So instead of being like successful at 42, I am successful at 32. Or even before actually, but you know what I mean? It's like, I get more time before me. So but you need to try, you need to do your stuff.
The faster you try, the faster you fail, the faster you fail, the faster you learn, the faster you get to success.
I would not be the same one without all my mistakes, without all my, you know, that's made like who I am today. So there is nothing to tell about this.
I mean, cheers to this conversation. Thank you so much for doing this, man. That was amazing.
Of course, I love it.
That was amazing.